Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde. So this is going to be a video about Venus retrograde. Now, this is a very important transit, and we're in the pre-shadow period of the Venus retrograde, which started on Friday, Thursday, around then, and it's going to be ending the pre-shadow period into July. But the actual retrograde is in May, and the planet Venus retrogrades for about 6 weeks. Now, why this is such an important video, and I'm probably going to do two. So I'm going to do one now in the pre-shadow period, and I'm going to be doing one again during the actual Venus retrograde. So used to Mercury retrogrades. Now everybody knows about Mercury retrograde, and it's common and happens 3 times a year, whereas the Venus retrograde happens every 18 months. And what can I say about Venus retrograde? So much. So much. So everybody has Venus in their chart. We all have Venus in our chart. So no one, and I mean actually like absolutely no one, is going to be excused from this. We all got to experience it. And what happens when planets retrograde? Basically, their rotation, it seems as though they're actually moving backwards, but they're not actually doing so. And the pre-shadow periods is where it's actually slowing down and preparing itself for its retrograde. But they both have a very strong impact. And this Venus retrograde will be taking us into 2012, because Venus retrogrades in Gemini. So things from 2012 and 2004, we'll be releasing and working with things from those years. So 2004, Venus was in Gemini and it went into retrograde, and as well once again in 2012, and now here we are 2020 with the Venus retrograde. Most important thing about Venus to know is that Venus rules love, beauty, luxury. It's everything beautiful, loving, and warm, and just a loving, beautiful, heavenly feeling. That's what Venus rules. It rules those beautiful feelings within. Now, when this planet goes into retrograde, and currently we're in the pre-shadow period, which will last until July. It's like 4 months. That's when we feel those parts of ourselves basically, how can I say, slow down. The beauty, the love, all of that. It's like, it feels like almost like a darker period, because life without love and beauty and luxury just feels not as happy, not as beautiful, just dark, honestly speaking. And we gotta face things. So we gotta face the darkest parts of ourselves. We got to deal with our suppressed emotions and the things that people generally experience during a Venus retrograde is that they find their relationships full of conflict. Fights happen, love relationships, any relationships that are basically close to your heart. If it's family too, it's close to the heart. So anything close to your heart. Infidelity comes about, getting into a relationship during the period of Venus retrograde. Once the retrograde's done, or when a Venus retrograde basically goes through its cycle again, you have to re-understand that relationship, and you'll probably find out things that you weren't so happy with, and like you'll be like, oh my gosh, I thought you were this person, you said this to me, all of that. It's a lot of deceit and betrayal and heartache can come through during a Venus retrograde. And why this video is so important to me is because if I were to think back to 2004 and 2012, those were very like only at like in 2017 is when I started actually becoming very much aware of astrology and the impact it had on me and how strongly I felt things. And then now when I look back, as I go deeper into it, I look back at those years, it makes so much of sense why I just felt like, where do I put my heart? What do I do with myself? That's what Venus rules. Where do you put your energy of your heart? Do you, and like, do you follow this purpose? Because even like our career, it has everything to do with your heart. If you don't feel it, you can't do it. It becomes difficult. It becomes a chore. And now Venus being in its retrograde and pre-shadow period, all it does is makes those things harder, because now you really got to face it. You got to face that you're unhappy with this person, what you have been doing in your relationship. Have you been basically just being there, being very supportive? Your partner's going through challenges, and you just kind of trying to hold the forefront and be A-okay. You can't do that. You just can't when Venus is in retrograde. You have to look now at where you've been suppressing your feelings. Where have you been lacking in love? And it does affect our finances. Like, Venus retrograde is not the time to do big purchases, sign on any deals, because everything that you think you see in a Venus retrograde is going to affect you financially. That's what it means. So even if I were to think of financial things I did during the times that I wasn't aware that it was a Venus retrograde, it always came back. It came back in it came back where I realized, oh my word, this cost me more than it's worth. And that's what it means. It costs you more than it's worth. For me, Venus retrogrades have been the most transformative experiences of my life. We got to go into our relationships, karmic cycles within our relationships. What are karmic cycles within a relationship? All the things that you basically give energy to, all the things that basically, whether your partner has a bad habit and you're just so supportive of it and trying to keep the peace, you just can't do that during a Venus retrograde. It becomes something that really starts to bother you and blows up in your face. The truth comes out, how people really feel. What have they been suppressing? Lots of people tend to break up during Venus retrogrades, and yes, people also tend to get into relationships during Venus retrogrades. Exes come back during Venus retrogrades. Everything of the past, everything that we thought we dealt with and our heart has faced, we now have a new way to actually face it. And it can be very difficult, because it can feel pretty dark. It can feel pretty heavy. Anxiety is another thing people experience a lot of during a Venus retrograde, like heart palpitations, because Venus rules the heart, right? It's the heart chakra. That's what it is. So all these things, when it comes to our relationships, we are now given the opportunity to see it from a different perspective. And that's why things are coming up within your relationship. Did you really deal with your self-worth? Did you really set good boundaries? Are you being deceived? Have you been really, listening to your gut? All of those things. And people can go through painful breakups, exes can come back, or couples that are together have to actually work to heal certain parts of themselves so they can move forward and work in a more balanced relationship. And balancing out of relationships is something that Venus wants, even your finances. So when it comes to balancing out your finances, what are you spending it on? Is this where your money needs to go? Is your money going towards something that's improving your life? Or is it just where you kind of like not even focusing on where your money is going, what you're doing with it, just living there to feel good every day and forget about all your problems? You can't do that during Venus retrograde. And lots of karmic things tend to happen where people can experience financial loss, or just those breakups that come out of nowhere during a Venus retrograde. And it's important, because really those things weren't working in the first place. That's all it means. It just was not working as much as you thought it was. It just wasn't. So the planets shift and they show you exactly how it's not working. And it can be difficult and it can be painful. Venus retrogrades are painful. They're not easy. They're tough times. It's tough times on the heart. People talk about Mercury retrograde and miscommunication, which can also be tough. But a Venus retrograde, what it does to one's heart, it really makes you notice these things. It even points out your health. Like, lots of times people aren't aware of the emotional strain they put their bodies under, and they just continue on day to day. Like, it's okay. Yeah, that person just pushed my buttons, but I'm going to keep the peace and move forward. And I'm not going to express myself. You can't walk away from those things during a Venus retrograde. It puts you in situations to actually face difficult times, for you to come out more courageous, to come out with more understanding, to grow and expand in your heart space for yourself. it's definitely a time of self-love. You can work on creative ideas during a Venus retrograde. Most certainly. Work on all those creative endeavors you have, because you're going within, you can do that. But it is a time where people find themselves just emotionally drained and having to look at all the things that emotionally drain them. Challenging, yes. Can we do it? Of course we can. I think of my life every time I went through a Venus retrograde and things just ended and opportunities just closed. Like I was like, okay, I'm living here. And next thing I know, all of a sudden I can't be there no more. I need to look for a new place and move out and stuff like that, because there's some sort of discrepancy of how the place is being managed or not working in accordance to my highest good previously. And I had to embrace that. And that's what Venus does. But I found better afterwards. It takes away the things that you really think or you believe or you feel is what you really want on the surface level. But is it what you really want on a deeper level? Because the heart is the truth. How we feel is the pure truth. No matter what we say to ourselves, or no matter how we try to convince ourselves, no matter how much we try to cover up things and be like, let me be diplomatic. The heart wants what it wants. And Venus retrograde will take away those things that are just not meant to be there in order for you to really receive the things that your heart really wants. And will also give you opportunities to go deeper into your relationship, to fix the things, to rebalance, to rework, to maneuver. This is an energetic portal like no other, especially when it comes to our heart. It's that energy that shifts us, that once this period is complete, you are renewed. Your purpose of who you are, what you want, how do you move forward, all change and become different from what you started with during a Venus retrograde. It's a powerful time, and I'm grateful for Venus retrogrades, as difficult as they can, because they transformed my life. They have transformed my life. They've taught me things, difficult things, but yet so beautiful things. And that's what it does, Under pain and suffering lies wisdom. And that's what it means. Under things that are difficult lies a sense of wisdom that we can't shake, that we know to be true in our hearts. And that's what Venus retrograde is about. And it's going to be in Gemini. So we're going to be able to see the duality of things. We'll definitely be able to see manipulation. We're going to really look at the communication that we have, what's being said in our communication, what words we use on each other. All of those things will come into full light. What we say, how much truth is to what we say. Do we say we're going to do this, we're going to change, we're going to be better, and never do it? Do we apologize but take no accountability? Do we say we're sorry but don't change who we are? And that's what Venus retrograde does. It gives you the power to make the changes, to really get what your heart truly wants. And it's beautiful. Thank you for watching.